Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we were here in Helm's Deep where the archers are... Well, they were a second ago, strangely in rhythmic form. They were all four firing at the exact same time, going very synchronized in their movements. But we were talking to Glinorin. And Glinorin's wanting us to study the map table over here. So study the map table near the western wall by Glinorin and time will pass. So we're going to Helm's Deep after midnight.
There is a map on the table over there. Will you show me how the battle will progress?
You have seen more of war than I have, and this old man counts himself fortunate. There's a map on the table over there. Will you show me how the attack will progress while we wait? Interacting with the map table near Glinorin, let's boost this up a little bit, will allow time to pass. Action will resume after midnight when the battle is joined. Indeed it will. So chapter 3, book 13, chapter 3. Night deepens. So here we go. Anytime to travel to Helm's Deep after midnight. See what happens in this battle, boys and girls. I know I said I was going to do this, hopefully the same day that we did everything leading up to it. The sound of fighting joins your ears. The battle is joined. Obviously that didn't happen, because we got quite... Helm's Deep before the battle. Interact this object, travel to Helm's Deep before the battle has begun. Okay, I hear lots of roaring Urukai in the distance. We got Glinorin and we got Gamling. See what Glinorin has to say.
Look! It is Gamling from the dike. He seeks our help.
Thank you for the lesson in strategy and tactics, my friend. I cannot say the lesson will remain long in this old head of mine, but for now I feel I'm glad I've learned something of what awaits us here. But look, it is Gamling from the dike. He seeks our help. Interact with Gamling to experience Epic Battles basic training. Excuse me, the tutorial for the Epic Battle system if you are interested in the Epic Battle system. The tutorial is optional and can be skipped if you intend to play the storied tales in Helm's Deep. Talk to Gamling by the pile of straw near the western wall. We can do that. Gamling gestures at you and seeks to catch his breath. Well, you know, see, that's one thing I remember is back in the past. You didn't have this part back in the past, because I've never been in this Helm's Deep section here with the battle going on. It's just you got the call to Helm's Deep, and you came down here to Helm's Deep, and Gamling gave you a tutorial in Epic Battles. And that's the way that it went. Let's go ahead and do the tutorial. Why not? Since we want to see all of this. We can do Book 13, Night Deepens, or we can do Epic Battles Basic Training. Aragorn gave us all some advice pertaining to epic battles, Gnarlo. Do you remember? Speak to me to learn all about them. Talk to Gamling to experience a short tutorial about the Epic Battle system. This is a repeatable quest you've never completed. Alright. Epic Battles Basic Training. I remind you of what Aragorn said to us before the walls of the Hornburg. But quickly! Well, he never said anything to us. That was the part that you used to go right on into whenever you first got the summons. See this right here. This is what used to happen. You got summoned to Helm's Deep and you saw this. Hey, this was our first introduction to Helm's Deep back in the day. Way back with Glinorin. And we never saw any of the rest of it. We never went on in. So this used to be your introduction to Helm's Deep here. What we got? We got Gimli. We got Aragorn. There's Legolas. Whole bunch of commanders, officers. Ooh, talk to Aragorn and learn about epic battles. Saruman's armies will soon be here, Gnarlo, but I fear that my companions do not know what to expect. An epic battle is not like the engagements we have faced to this point, and I want to ensure that our friends are ready. Listen to Aragorn and his companions discuss the coming battle. This valley will soon be filled with Saruman's armies. We must prepare for the battle. We have fought in many wars, Aragorn. I know what is to be done. This will be different, Gimli. This is no small engagement. In the battle to come, the forces of Saruman will care little for individual heroes. They seek nothing less than the total destruction of Rohan, man, woman, and child. You are saying they will pay me no heed, then I will make them suffer for their oversight. I know you will, my friend, but what are the actions of a single man, or elf, or dwarf? Our foes number in the thousands. Ah, of course, my axe can reach only so many. That is why we must also instruct the men of Rohan how best to fight during each battle. Commander! Yes, Aragorn. During the tumult of battle, we cannot speak to each man individually. Instead, we will suggest tactical approaches to commanders such as you. Then you will relay them to the men under your command. Very good. Alright, so let's talk to this officer, I imagine. Selecting the commander will highlight all the soldiers under his command. During battle, by speaking with someone awaiting orders like a commander, you can change the tactics of a group of soldiers. Some options are available at the outset, such as healing the soldiers over time, or increasing the damage output. Other options become available by spending points in the officer battle roll. Talk to Legolas and learn about approaching enemies. I will convey your orders to the men under my command. We will do as you say during battle. We have fought large numbers of enemies before, but never so many foes as this. There will simply be too many enemies for one hero to dispatch alone. We must use other methods against them if we are to survive. Listen to Legolas and his companions discuss the effectiveness of dealing with enemies at range. We will not fight the Uruks down here unless the battle goes ill. We will try and lessen their numbers from afar with ranged weapons and siege equipment. I do remember that kind of stuff. Legolas speaks the truth. Every foe we slay from a distance is one less foe to face up close. We will see them marching in formation toward us. If we can aim our ballistae at these formations and fire at the right moment, we will face fewer enemies up close. Every one of those marching foes will scale our walls. We should lessen their numbers if we can. But I know little about siege equipment. I can tell you about it if you like. Enemies will march in formation toward us. When a formation reaches our position, enemies will engage in close combat. We should use siege equipment to lessen their numbers first. Before that happens, anyone can build and use basic siege equipment. Other options become available by spending points in the engineer battle roll. Walk with the engineer and listen to him discuss siege equipment. Gnarlo, come with me to practice building and using siege equipment. You can build such devices by interacting with their transparent outlines. Every time the progress circle fills up, the device moves closer to completion. Once a device is built, you can interact with it to aim it, load it, and fire it. Try it now if you like. Sure, I do remember this kind of stuff here. Siege equipment. Large army warfare requires large siege weaponry. The Rohirrim are armed with various sizes of catapults and ballistae. positioned throughout the fortress of Helm's Deep. Taking command of these weapons, you can choose ammo with which to load them, aim them, crank them, upgrade them, and fire them. If you have an ally with you, they can aid you in any of those actions or do one of their own. The actions you have available and the efficiency with which you perform them can be unlocked and upgraded through the Promotions tab at the Epic Battles panel. Oh my god, yeah, I'm glad they've gotten rid of this and you can just story it now. Good grief. So we can build it or we can upgrade it. Let's work on building. What's that say? Requires 400 work units. You contribute 100 work units per second. Time to complete work, 4 seconds. Build the object, raising its structural integrity. Right click to cancel. So we're building, 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 building. And we have to build it all the way up to 25,800 hit points, do we? Dang. This is almost as complicated and long as building my trucking empire was. Alright, so we got that. That's the ballistae. So we can load a boat, 200 work units, which is 100 work units per second. Okay, so everything's 100 work units per second, is it? And we can upgrade it. What's the upgrade options? None at the moment. We can armor it, damage, speed, or distance. Okay. So what can we do? We can load it. Let's load it. Okay, we've loaded it. I guess that is our aim point out here. Crank. Crank the ballistae. Alright. And then we can aim up. Right click to cancel. So that would be our aim point here. Let's aim it that way a little bit. Okay. And then we can cancel. Alrighty. And then is that fire? Oh, that's upgrade. This is fire. Boom. Alright. So that's the ballistae. I guess it wants us to play around with the catapult now as well. Oh, talk to Aragorn and learn about battle rolls. Alrighty. So we won't worry about that. Let's go on over here. We see how we build and upgrade and fire and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk to Aragorn now. There are 3 different battle roles in which you can specialize, Gnarlo. Those roles are Engineer, Vanguard, and Officer. By performing well during battle, you will earn points you can spend on those roles in the promotion panel, becoming more effective at your chosen specialization. Speak with each of the representatives here to learn what each battle role has to offer. And you thought legendary items was complicated. Talk to the engineer and learn more about the engineer role. Talk to the officer and learn about the officer role. Talk to Vanguard and learn about the Vanguard role. Sure. How do we get rid of that? That little X, that's how we get rid of it. Engineer. If you want to excel at building, upgrading, and firing siege equipment, you should focus on the engineer battle role. Engineers can build siege equipment and other devices more quickly. They also have more options for upgrading and repairing such devices and can place traps to hinder the enemy. Engineers can also disable enemy traps. Alright, so we've learned what the engineer does. The Vanguard, what the heck do you do? If you want to stand toe-to-toe with enemy forces, you should focus on the Vanguard battle role. Bingo! We found our role. Vanguards unlock powerful attacks by earning kill streaks, defeating many enemies in succession. They also receive benefits by dealing and receiving damage and can also run faster than other heroes. A Vanguard is happiest with engaging in close quarters combat. You and me, Gimli. You and me, Gimli. Just like that. Alright. Vanguard for life. And the officer. If you want to excel at issuing orders to commanders and provide useful buffs to your allies, you should focus on the officer battle role. Officers can issue more effective orders to commanders. They also have more commands at their disposal and can make a group of soldiers focus on particular targets or change their weapons. Officers can command soldiers to shelter from incoming catapult shells or arrows. Additionally, officers can plant banners that aid nearby engineers and vanguards. Talk to Aragon and learn about merit. I would count mere survival of the battle a success, given the foes raised before us. But the truest victory is one in which we all overcome all challenges the battle brings. As a battle ebbs and flows, we may be presented with optional side objectives. These are not necessary for victory, but completing them successfully will add merit we earn in the battle, the measure of our victory. Listen to Aragorn and his companions discuss merit and medals. Now, wasn't this the whole thing about... Here we are talking about merit and medals when it was Aragorn that talked to Eowyn about the fact that you shouldn't seek glory in battle. The more you practice at a certain battle role, the more skilled you will become. The more efficient you are and the better you perform during battle, the more merit you will earn. Side objectives are optional, but if you can complete them, you will earn more merit. Merit leads to greater recognition among your fellows, but also to real rewards as well. Rewards! The thrill of battle is all the reward I will need. Well spoken, my friend. What say you, Gnarlo? Is there anything else you would ask? Talk to Gimli when you are done learning about epic battles for now. Legolas. We have fought large numbers in, it's simply too many. Okay, use other things. This is where they just repeat everything, all the yellow secondary stuff. Alright, so I think we are done with all of that. Let's talk to Gimli. It is very complicated. Excuse me, dang. I was not ready to talk like a dwarf there. Ooh, I think I pulled something. It is very complicated, but I believe I understand what Aragorn has said to us. We will do well, Gnarlo. I am certain of it. Completed Epic Battles Basic Training, and yes, we have. I believe I know enough for now, Gnarlo. I hope you feel the same. This land will not give in to Saruman's designs without a fight. I remember some of that. I do remember playing around with the building the catapults and stuff like that. I do not remember whether Aragorn was there or not, or whether we were just talking to Gamling. It's hard to say. So yeah, there we go. Alright, if we wanted to go back before the battle, we can go to that. Or we can talk to Gamling again, and that's Book 13, Chapter 3.
Battle is almost upon us.
I think battle is almost upon us. If you are willing to stand with my men, come with me to hold Helm's Dyke for as long as we are able.
Gamling seeks our aid.
Gamling has come from the Dyke, seeks our aid. Speak to him, find out there's little hope we can pass. Speak to him to experience Epic Battles battle training, the tutorial for the Epic if you are interested in it. The tutorial is optional, skipped if you intend to play the storied tales. Well, that's the one I'm intending on doing. So I'm going to take a break here. It's been 19 minutes. I need to go take a bio break and everything. So this time I will definitely be going in and putting up. That's been 20 minutes, so I will definitely be going into right after I go to the battle break. Get me a new cup of coffee, and the next episode will be the storied tales, that I can guarantee you, because that's the route we're going. We're not going to fight all that epic battle stuff. Maybe on Glinorin, I might haul Glinorin through here, and since he's already taken that part of the thing before in the distant past, maybe he will be out there fighting as a dwarf and do the epic battle. But I will see y'all again in just a few my time, because I will be doing the tales as soon as I come back. So we will see you then.